Welcome back. With the decline in COVID-19 numbers, there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel for most people. But how has the pandemic affected the cost of living? Our reporters are on the ground to explore the impact of rising prices and the pandemic on livelihoods. eNCA's Nqobile Madlala is in Johannesburg, Ayesha Ismail is in Cape Town, and Dasen Thathiah out in Avoca in Durban. Let's start with you, Ayesha. How are people coping with specifically the high municipal bills and the basic day-to-day necessities in the city of Cape Town?
Tell us, people beg, they borrow and they steal, and this is what I was told after speaking to dozens of people in various communities this morning. People were saying this is the toughest time that they've experienced. They say they thought that after the first wave things would get better, then we were hit with a second wave and a third wave, and of course now we're bracing ourselves for a fourth wave. We find ourselves in a situation in poorer communities where poor people are actually feeding other poor people. People say they have to do whatever they can, and even if it means that they have to work for 25 Rand a day, they need to do that to put food on their table, because they just don't see any other way out of this poverty. Jobs are scarce, unemployment is at its highest in the country. But I did speak to a community activist, Sandra Dixon, who deals with people who are battling with high municipal bills. And I asked her, exactly what you are asking me. How are people coping? Let's listen to what Sandra Dixon had to say.
People survive all sorts of circumstances. However, the psychological burden on people, going to bed at night knowing that you've got a 20, 30, 40,000 Rand bill, and the city's policy is, and I've got it in writing, if you read the policies, is that they would put your house and your furniture on auction by a court order to recoup that money from you. So yes, people carry on living. However, their quality of life and psychological well-being is very much negatively impacted by this heartless city of Cape Town.
So, Ayesha, do the people that you've been engaging with believe that the local government elections will bring about some kind of change to their current living conditions?
Tell us, what was interesting is that everybody knows that come the 1st of November, they say they are going to vote, and these are among the people that I spoke to. But a lot of them were saying that they don't even know who the ward councillor is. And while they're saying that they will vote, they're still undecided as to who exactly they are going to vote for. But having spoken to Sandra Dixon, she believes that people can make a difference come the 1st of November. Let's take a listen what she had to say earlier today.
We have an election coming up on the 1st of November, and everybody has the opportunity to change the composition of the council in the city of Cape Town. Because currently the council of the city of Cape Town, one party has got a majority. So there's no proper debate in council about the decisions that they take. The decisions are rubber stamped. However, if the people go to the voting stations and exercise their right, we can change the composition of the city, of the council of the city of Cape Town, and force debate and force the city to actually take the average Cape Townian into account.
All right, let's take it to eNCA's Nqobile Madlala, who's tracking the situation in Joburg. And Nqobile, also in Joburg, the issue of rates also under the firm focus of the city of Joburg, with the introduction of the eJoburg system to try and track the ability of people to meet their commitments towards the city.
Well,
Well, that's right, Tulas. That is also the issue. We've just spoken to some of the business people on the ground, and they've also complained that they're finding that the billing is just too high, especially at this time, that it's been tough for them and their businesses, and it's a lot of money. But I want to tap into exactly that, the billing system, which is the new portal that was introduced by the city of Joburg. MMC, you know this better. Perhaps explain to us what are the advantages of this portal.
Good afternoon to your viewers, and thank you very much, Nqobile. The portal is meant to assist us and the community, our customers, to be able to view and control their own billing, including making payments to the city. Through the portal, they will be able to actually even lodge in their queries, including tapping into their own, doing their own meter reading and giving it to the city. So the information will be on the bed. As soon as you put in your meter reading, then we are able to see it, then your bill will be refreshed that way.
Okay, so what is the impact that this plays, especially when it comes to making sure that people are correctly billed? I mean, you will remember there was an issue earlier on this year where people were saying that their bills are inflated.
Look, we believe that the portal will help customers to control their own billing process, including us being able to communicate with the customers. The portal will allow customers to lodge inquiries as well. So through that portal, it's going to be active for 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we will be able to pick up issues that are being raised and respond to them in time. Where we need to refer, you know that part of our billing includes numbers from Joburg Water and City Power. So we'd have to repair that. But our turnaround times is going to be quick through the portal.
But MMC, a lot of business owners just reflecting and residents talking about the fact that rates and taxes have skyrocketed. They're saying that is there anything that the city is doing to ensure that there is some form of debt relief for these people who are struggling?
We have introduced the debt rehabilitation program that seeks to help us to write off about 11 billion that is sitting in our debtors book. And that will include businesses that are not able to pay, customers, residents that are not able to pay. To date, we have had about 15,000 applications and written off almost 400 million. So we want to encourage those business people that you guys spoke to come through to the city and to get into the city's website for them to be able to access the application forms, because we are alive to the impact of COVID on our customers, including businesses. So the debt rehabilitation program is aimed to assist those bills that they are not able to pay. But look, we're issuing out 1 million bills every month. So we are alive to the fact that there could be some margin for error. So we are encouraging communication between us and our customers.
Any possibilities of maybe giving these small businesses a flat rate?
No, we are not going to give anybody a flat rate. And I'm going to give an example as to why. We have 11 million residents and businesses that we cater for. The amount or the levels of their properties are not the same. So imagine me doing, of course, we've got calls for 150 flat rate across, you know. Imagine us agreeing to the flat rate and we're saying to the Soweto people and the Sandton people, you will pay 150 for rates. Are we not making the poor subsidize the rich people, you know, or those who can't afford to subsidize those that can't afford? So hence our rating is on your property that has been evaluated and you are given. So you are staying in Soweto in a 4-room house, your rates are going to be different from a person that is staying in the suburbs that has more than 10 rooms, you know. So flat rate is not going to work.
MMC, there's been calls, especially from the small businesses that we have spoken to. They're saying that they are not seeing you on the ground. They want to see more of you on the ground, assessing the damage that has been caused by COVID-19 lockdown to these businesses that are struggling to stay afloat. Will we be seeing you support some of these businesses? And have you done anything? Because at this point, they're saying that they're not seeing you.
Okay, we've been in office for a month, and we've tried to put together systems systems that are going to make it easy for our customers to interact with the city. I do understand that there is a request for us to come on the ground, but we have a lot of businesses, so we will try to go to those ones that we feel are more your large power users and are people that are having quite a lot of debts that they need to come to the city. We've actually been agreed with the team that we'll develop a program where the MMC will call our customers, those that are paying, to thank them for paying, including calling those that are not able to pay, so that we encourage them. But our doors are open. We've opened ourselves up to engaging with communities. It will be difficult for the MMC to reach out all the businesses and all our communities, but they can come, they can call, they can email, walk into our customer centers and talk to the officials there. If they don't get joy, then they can come directly to the office of the MMC. There is support staff here that they will find if the MMC is not in the office. We do subscribe to the appointment making process, but when I'm here and people come in, I will definitely talk to them. So we have an open door policy. It's important for us, Nqobile, to touch base with our customers from time to time. So they are most welcome to call, SMS, drop an email, then we respond where we are able to do that in time.
All right. Thank you very much, MMC. Well, till us speaking to the MMC, they're just explaining to us how the processes work, especially with the new portal that is called eJoburg, of course. She's just speaking about the fact that the doors are open for those that have queries. We have spoken to some of the business people on the ground, and they were just worried about the presence. And she's saying that as they are new in the office, they are trying to implement those ways to be able to connect to their customers.
Yeah, it's good to see a sense of responsiveness coming through there, Nqobile, from the MMC, talking about having written off some 400 million rand in debt under the debt rehabilitation program and having 15,000 applications that are in the system. By the way, I laughed out loud here in the studio, which I trust from the team that I trust with my life. The technical team, that it didn't go out on air. When the MMC flatly rejected this idea of a flat rate, there was something about how emphatic she was about that issue of a flat rate that got me giggling a bit there. Nqobile, from you, let's take it to Dasen Thathiah, who is out in Avoca in Durban. Dasen, what's the story coming through there about the impact of the COVID-19 lockdowns on people's ability to afford municipal rates and services?
Well, Tulas, let me start here. When we were chatting off air, you were asking me what's behind me. Well, it's a chicken coop, and I'll explain to you why that has become a symbol of hope for the gentleman that I'm going to bring into my conversation shortly. His name is Mr. Lucky Mlambo, and he's been dealt quite a raw deal during COVID-19. He was saddled with a lot of debt as a result of what he had gone through then, and now with these additional bills that he has to face just like everyone else, it really has been quite difficult. But in this conversation, I'll also explain why this chicken coop has been helping him out. Mr. Mlambo, thank you so much for joining me. Let's first talk about how you got to your position that you're in, because previously you'd actually held some very senior posts in the retail industry as well. You were even in HR and senior management, but unfortunately things took a turn.
Yeah, you see, I used to work for a huge retail company before, and my last position there was an ops exec. And obviously when I got retrenched in 2015, I decided to start my own company and business in the micro-lending sector, financial services. It's what I did. I had an experience in that since I had worked for 18 years in the retail and financial services sector. I did that for 5 years successfully until December last year, where I really said I'm closing down. And all due to COVID, because when the hard lockdown started in April last year, it was difficult to do any business. We had to shut down the operations from the office, and you could not do any follow-up, you could not service any clients, you could not do anything from home. And when you still trying to figure out what to do, you have expenses, you have office that you need to still pay rental for, you still have to maintain other expenses, your household expenses as well. The banks are trying to make arrangements, how you're going to pay this and that. So it has been difficult. And for the whole year now, since that period till now, I haven't been doing anything. Obviously, you're still trying to see if you can still open your company, your business.
And you've also been trying some farming.
During that time, when I was saying, okay, it's now hard lockdown, I'm sitting at home and we're all sitting and doing nothing, I decided to Google the chicken coop, obviously, bought pellets and started knocking them together and built my, my chicken coop. Got like 40 layers, loam and browns, and I said, okay, if things really got to a point where we've run out of everything, at least we'll have some eggs.
and at least that's been well, because you said you moved to sell of those eggs. Yeah. Now, in addition to all of the problems that you're facing, you also have the issue of the municipal, the taxes, the electricity, and all of them with that. As a regular South African citizen who is preparing to vote, what's your call to government as you try to keep your head above?
You see, the problem, if they try and assist people like us, you've got people that their work or employment due to no fault of their own. It affected, for myself, it affected me like 100%, lost everything, all the savings and whatever. And then you've got obviously these additional rates and taxes, your electricity and your... If a councillor is like so close to the community, they would actually pick up that there's a problem with that household, problem with that uncle there. Let's see what we can do in terms of kids. Let's see what we can do in terms of helping them. Because, I mean, you've been a regular payer all your life. You've been paying your services all this time. And now COVID happened. And when it happened, it hit us differently. Others are surviving because they were government employed. But for us, people who are self-employed, who had our own businesses that were forced to shut down, you have no means of paying. And you're still struggling to maintain your life in terms of surviving. In addition, you have to pay your rates and taxes, water, electricity, which is going up almost every year, which is a problem for people that are unemployed, if they can, one way or the other.
Thank you. I guess the call there from Mr. Mlambo is similar to other that we've as well. I think all they're asking for is just a little bit of breathing in this very difficult period that many people find themselves in.